Hello and welcome to the Performance Racing League. You are joined today just by myself, Lucas Aid, and we are here for round 8 at Canada. The event should now start. We should also have, I think, a full grid, or at least 18 drivers, which is really good to see. And this should be quite an exciting spectacle. Just as we kind of await the first cars to come out, we can take a little look at the current standings. Let's have a look. So Morris continues his absolutely dominant performances, winning the last race out in the Netherlands, but with, I think, his 4th win of the season. And he currently leads by 38 points over Vapor, who was in Tier 1 last season, has really stepped up and finished 2nd in the Netherlands last time out. So those two in particular, great to watch. M Fish as well, really doing very well. Is he here today? I don't see him, interestingly. So I don't think he can make it today, which is a shame. But he's currently in 3rd, and Bass in 4th, who's actually really stepped up as well and is really fun and exciting to watch. So anyway, with that said, Suzuki is the first driver out onto this quite difficult track. Different sectors requiring different skills, and quite hard to actually find a good setup around this track. You've got to prioritise straight line speed for those DRS zones, especially through Sector 3, that massive back straight. It's a tough track, but it's also very fun. But as you can see, the walls are incredibly close to the cars, to the edge of the track, I should say. So any mistakes and you normally don't get too much of a reprieve. So Suzuki out, Mr. Hex out, Timger, Demir and Jesper all on their outlaps. You can see Suzuki trying to warm up those soft tyres before he starts his flying lap. You can also brake a little bit to heat them up through the brakes, but that works as well. And let's follow on board with Suzuki. Stays as wide as possible, really attacks that first curb, and then is careful not to dangle too much over that inside curb. Perhaps a little bit too low speed through there, struggles with the rotation, little twitch on exit, won't be too happy about that. But perfects the angle through this very deceptively difficult chicane of Sector 1. And then here, going right to that far right hand side, again tacking over that curb, just like you have to do, and then using all the width of the track on the exit as he opens up that DRS flap. Avoids the traffic that kind of gets out of the way in the form, I think, of Bass. And again, attacking that chicane, attacking those curbs, really nice through there. A lot of speed. It's a shame actually now about that turn number 2 for him, because it's been a really good lap otherwise. A beautiful line through the chicane, but just slightly hits that inside curb, loses traction, and again a twitch of oversteer as a result. And that's going to cost him all the way down the main straight. But it's still a really tidy lap for a sighter lap, a first lap, and he's got 15 more minutes to improve. Again, using all the width of the track, really throwing it through that chicane. That was really nice to see. Such a hard corner. And across the line with a 1:10.699. Do you know what? That's a very good effort, all things considered. So now we have... Apparently, I think Mr. X is actually shaping up for a lap now. I don't think this is his hot lap. And he's invalidated through the chicane. And that is not what you want to do, because the game will in fact invalidate you for not only the current lap, but the next lap. So he now will probably go into the pits and put a new set of tyres on. Jesper with a 1:11.6. Didn't catch the lap, but a little bit down. Let's follow on board with Bronco in the Ferrari now. PRL Magnus is quick, new to the league, I'm now hearing. Okay, I'll make sure to follow him. He is currently in the pit lane in the McLaren. Nice and gentle from Bronco there through that hairpin. Difficult corner. Very smooth throttle input though. Very nice. Oh! Little lock-up from a car there. Again, this super difficult chicane. Yeah, almost nails that. Like a good amount of speed. A little bit conservative, but it makes complete sense. It's your first lap and a 1:12.384. It's a good time. Let's follow on board with Bronco's teammate in the Ferrari, Cheryl Shaft. Oh, he's invalidated, in fact. So he's actually shaping up for this lap. Do you know what? Let's follow on board. I want to try and follow more full laps. This is a very fun track to watch. There's some good fast-paced corners here. Oh! Okay, invalidated there. That's a shame. Scorenzi with a purple sector 1. Missed it, but must have been good. Look at that. Really making the most of the track limits there through that first point of the chicane. And there's a lot of camber around this track, and you have to tune your car up accordingly. But if you do so, you can really attack the curbs and carry a lot of speed, and with quite a lot of confidence, to be honest. You don't feel like you're going to spin out, but actually the limits are quite close. Often if you do start to spin through those corners, you can't say that. Oh, he's invalidated. You just know as soon as you see the angle if they're going to invalidate or not. It's so tough though, because when you're racing, it's just a split second. It must be, what, a tenth of a second difference between nailing it and invalidating. A bit of a shame, because he was on course for, I think, a 110 something. But he'll have to try again. In the meantime, we did miss Jesse Force with a 111.3. So Suzuki, right, despite making a couple of mistakes through, I think, the hairpin and turn 2, another hairpin, he is miles in the lead right now, and I think he has a few temps in his locker. So he must be full of confidence. Femi with a 112.0. That's a good first lap. Let's follow Demur as he starts his flying lap. Almost hits the wall. That wall, in fact, known as the Wall of Champions. And a big shout out to Timgra in 4th place in the Red Bull with a 111.746. He has really stepped up. He was once a tier 2 driver back when there were 3 tiers, and tier 2 was the lowest tier, so that just goes to show the improvement that he's now the 4th fastest driver right now, albeit with 10 minutes to go. Quite tentative from Demur. I think he's just finding his way around, but doesn't seem too confident through the chicanes. He's not quite attacking the chicanes in the same way that Suzuki was. Does well to just miss the curb here, but a slight little snap of oversteer on exit. A little bit eager, but shouldn't cost him too much actually. You can slightly slide the back end out and it's okay with these cars. Again, very careful. Oh, doesn't quite get the rotation. Slightly messes his entry point and then kind of corrects. Goes wide. He'll lose about a second, I think, even just from that, or at least half a second. So 112.728, but lots of potential there. In the meantime, Magnus, who I've been told to watch out for, has just immediately rocked up and set a 110.9. So 3 drivers now. Unfortunately, we missed those 2 following Demur, but that's absolutely okay. There is plenty of time to see their next laps. Just under 10 minutes to go, so these drivers have at least one more stint in them. We'll follow Mr. Hex now, as he has yet to set a lap. Oof! Oversteer at the worst time through the exit. Just needed to slightly open that wheel up a little bit more. And you see the back end rotating there as well as he hits the curb. Perhaps a slight ride height issue, but I'm not sure. Very tidy from Mr. Hex through that hairpin. As Justin has retired, he must have crashed. Either that or did... Yeah, he's crashed. He's lost it through the chicane of Sector 2. If you look at the track map, his car's just been rescued now. That is a shame for Justin, but he will be starting dead last in 18th. And Mr. Hex with a really solid 111.5. That puts him in provisional 5th. Who else do we have? Timgra has invalidated. Jesper has invalidated. Suzuki on a lap, but currently only green. So we'll see. But then if he's purple and if he's the fastest driver, he should be setting purples, I believe, if he's going quicker. So we'll see what this really means, but I think it's slower. Yeah, he's going in the pits. Makes sense. He must have messed up. Mr. Hex, he's running on a very depleted battery. He's invalidated, but was actually quicker. So clearly got something in him. Let's go all the way through to Inns. I've not seen Innes drive for quite a while. It's good to see him back in the Aston Martin. He's just gearing up for his hot lap, so we will get to see the whole thing. Yeah, it's crazy with Suzuki's lap time. A 1:09.7. I mean, it's a shame, again, we just keep missing the fastest laps, but I'm trying to show all the drivers, not just the top 4. But what a lap, indeed. I'd love to see it back. And Innes has already invalidated. I'm not getting any luck today. All the drivers I'm following are seemingly just invalidating straight away. But yeah, what a shout out to Suzuki. A 1:09.7. Completely missed it. But what a time. That is... I don't think I can physically even set a 1:09.7 in TT. And he's doing that in qualifying. And it's not... You know, the track's not even fully rubbered in. He's got 7 minutes left. He could honestly go out and do a few more laps. He could probably do 2 more stints if he really wanted to. Just insane. Yeah, Adam is absolutely cooking. We'll have to... If he does come out again, I promise all of you that we will follow his lap. Because he's clearly just... He's got the secret formula here. So Suzuki just saying, just for those that are listening, not watching, if I can find a few tenths, I'll be happy. I'll take the lap. Not sure if he's being sarcastic or if he was referring to the earlier lap, but either way, it's quite funny. Suzuki with the big talk, saying he's done faster than this in practice. So, yeah, just so you know, Suzuki, everyone is going to be watching you, mate, as you set your next lap when you come out. So you better not invalidate. Anyway, let's follow... Okay, let's not follow Febby, he's invalidated. Share purple, here we go. 6 tenths improvement. Purple sector 2. And a nice clean exit out of the final hairpin as he makes his way down the huge back straight of sector 3. And in the meantime, Scorenzi with a 1:10.2, don't forget that. And I will jump to Jesse Force, I think, after this. Looks very tidy from Cher. 1:11.6, what a lap. 8th place. Jesse's invalidated. And Scorenzi's coming in. Okay. Here we go. On board with Timgra. He is on his hot lap for his second stint. Just a Sunday drive when I come back out. Suzuki with the big talk. You better not put that in a wall. If you put your car in the wall lap 1, we will laugh at you. We'll feel sorry for you though, but we will laugh. This is a very clean lap. You can see just how good these drivers are. Very good car control and really making the most of the track width. Look at that as he threads it through that chicane. So tidy. Fully in control there. 1:11.458 puts him in provisional P6. That's a very good lap. Really, really good lap. We have Demur now flying down the back straight, but he's not opened the flap, so he must be pitting. And he is. Morris has invalidated. Innes in the pit, as we would expect. After that stint, it didn't quite go according to plan, it has to be said. So, every driver really is in the pits, except for Heikstrand, who has invalidated, and Morris, who has invalidated. So are they boxing, or are they gearing up? Well, based on this battery usage, you'd like to hope that Morris is boxing. Don't forget, Morris is your current PRL Tier 1 championship leader. So do not write this guy off. We are yet to see his true pace, but I expect it to be at least in the 110s, at least. And apparently there's a user called Salad Tosser 3000. I think we have to give a shout out to that name. I don't even know who this guy or girl is, but that's amazing. Does anyone know Salad Tosser? That's incredible. And also, don't forget Tar Heels, by the way, a great driver. Had the pleasure of losing to him many times. And he has not set a time yet. He likes to come out towards the end and set a time. Sometimes he purposely likes to set a slower time just to stay out of the way of all of the mayhem in the middle of the pack, the midfield, so to speak. Which actually makes quite a lot of sense. Anyway, on board with Bronco, he's half a second up or improved, which is fantastic. Morris will cook. I mean, I'm really quite excited. First of all, I'm biased because this genuinely is my favourite track. I don't know if anyone else shares that opinion, but I absolutely love this track. I love racing on it, and I love watching the races, and there's so many like real life fantastic races as well, like when Jenson Button fought back in the rain, amongst others. Just so many incredible races and so many infamous corners like this final one with the Wall of Champions on our right hand side. But looking at the top four, I mean, you can already tell this is going to be a crazy good race, and Bronco now just joining them. Why not? A 110.8. Do you know what? He has stepped up so much this season. I think he struggled a little bit last season in Tier 1, and this season in like the improved Tier 1, he is doing really, really well. Very rapid. Always has good race pace as well. But I think everyone in the 110s has a great shot at this race, and I do think that looking at the order, you look at Morris as well, he should be joining them. So it could be, what, at least 6 drivers with 110s? Maybe 7? So, yeah, it should be a fantastic race. Okay, Morris has aborted his lap. Jesper, of course, the champion last season of Tier 1, back when Tier 1 was the second highest tier. He is now on his hot lap, really making the most of those curbs. Let me just double check Gordsource isn't on a lap. Oh, he actually is. Okay, let's follow Gordsource. I'm going to try now to follow the higher placed drivers, because we're getting towards that sort of shootout phase. He's set a green sector 2, and he is in 3rd place. So it's going to be all down to this chicane section. But he goes into the pit, so was not happy. That's a real shame for Gordsource. I wonder where he'll finish. Right, back on board with Jesper. Suzuki's on his outlap. Scorenzi's on his outlap. I have noticed this. Morris is on his outlap. Noted all of them. We'll switch on board soon. Just to reply to Ramsey, your comment there, and I think, you know, sometimes it's nice to take a short break, and I know obviously you're injured at the moment. I think it was a workplace injury, so I do hope that you get better soon. And let's follow Scorenzi in the meantime. But yeah, I think take a break for a couple of weeks, come back, and you should find you get that motivation. Really interesting line from Scorenzi there, almost like a TT line. Just has so much grip, he doesn't even need to use the full width of the track, just plants it down. And he's actually a 10th up, 10th improved. Maybe doesn't quite hug the inside curb as much as he wanted to. And again, just it's almost like he's got so much grip, he doesn't need the full width of the track. Obviously trying to straighten the circuit so you have yet less physical meters to drive on. And look at that, absolutely dancing the car through that chicane. Surprised he didn't drop the back end. I probably would have, to be honest, but his car control is immaculate so far. Look at that, slight lockup, but I don't think it will affect him. And that was perfect through that hairpin, genuinely. So clean on the throttle as well. Absolutely no issues at all with the rear wheels, the rear grip. Just smoothly out like butter onto the back straight. If he can nail this, this could be a fantastic time. That was nice through there, very tidy indeed. 18% battery left across the start-finish line. And he sets a 19.832, he's 1/10 off. Just 1/10 off. Suzuki aborts in the meantime, and Morris with a 1:10.7. So we definitely followed the right driver through that last section. What a lap from Scorenzi. Suzuki saying a Sunday stroll was his last stint. I guess that materialised. He just went in the pits, was not phased, was not worried at all. And Morris did really well there to get up and amongst the top runners with a 1:10.7. And actually a big shout out to Innes Ford. Completely missed him, but a really great lap. And we see Jesse now going with a 1:10.5. So a fantastic performance from all these drivers. And I do now think that is everyone finished. Yeah, and good lap from Jesse as well. Should not have missed that one. Great performance. So the long-running high flyers of PRL finding their form right at the end of the session. And what a session indeed it was. Right, we're just awaiting the last 3 drivers to box, and then we should be able to progress through to the race. Fantastic. Let me just read through the comments. Go Scorenzi. Well, he has fans, clearly. I actually don't know Scorenzi, unless he's changed his username. But what a performance. Yeah, the salad tosser. Yes, exactly, Northern. PRL is back from the winter break, and it's nice to be back, and thank you for the support. Okay, and Salad apparently racing midweek, so he's becoming a bit of a PRL staple. We'll have to follow his progress. But also big shout out to the admins in the form of Femi Thrustmaster in 10th and Cheryl Shaft, drivers that continue to improve all the time. Interestingly, Salad Tosser Tar Heels and Justin did not set a time. Of course, Justin binned the car through a chicane, but perhaps Tar Heels and Salad Tosser actually deliberately choosing not to set a time. We'll have to see how that pans out. But anyway, from top to bottom, your starting order for the race is Suzuki in first, strolling apparently through into pole. Scorenzi second, Jesse third, Magnus fourth, Morris fifth, in sixth, Gordsaw seventh, Bronco eighth, Hex ninth, Femi 10th, Tim Grit 11th, Jesper 12th, Cher 13th, High Scrime 14th, and someone was in 15th. And then the other three drivers, all I mentioned earlier, didn't set a time. Okay, so we'll take a 2-minute break, and then we will begin the race. And yeah, just to read through the comments, I do think the race pace will be a lot closer. I think it's very rare that, yeah, you say between second and third there were 7 attempts. That is true. I doubt it will materialise like that in the race. And we all know drivers have their strengths and weaknesses. I think quite often the drivers that are very, very good at quali aren't always as good as at being consistent in the race. I mean, perhaps I'm wrong here, but being consistent through a race is more important and perhaps a slightly harder skill actually than one-shot pace. And I say this as someone that's probably better at one-shot pace than race pace, to be honest. Here we go, and do not miss it. It's the race start right now. No formation lap. 5 lights. Why can't I hear no audio? And they're away. Let's try and fix the audio. Here we go. We're in. We are away. And a fantastic start from the Williams of Suzuki down the inside of Scorenzi. But it's going to have the outside through the hairpin. In the meantime, Jesse and Magnus all over the back. But a fantastic exit from Scorenzi down the inside again, just as he did in qualifying. And he is now alongside Suzuki. How will they take this corner? Oh my word. Suzuki just about stays in front. How on earth was there no contact there? Fantastic race start from Suzuki, putting his foot down and taking the lead of the race. Jesse Force now in third, sizing up Scorenzi, but he's got Magnus for company just behind, and a fantastic exit from Magnus, but not quite enough pace. We've got quite a few cars behind though. And will they go for any moves? Not quite. Let's follow on board from Morris in 6th place. And let's look at the tyres. Oh, here we go. Morris now down on the outside of Innes 4. How will he shape up this move? A lot of big lockups. A lot of big lockups. And Innes has to leave enough room. That compromises Innes' exit. And Morris says, thank you very much, takes the lead. What a move from from Morris on the medium tyre to get past Innes on the hard tyre. But let's go back up on board with Scorenzi. Already darting and weaving. Maybe a little bit of lag on the server as well. A little bit of shaking. We can assume it's just internet issues, but Scorenzi doing quite well there. Slightly compromised on exit, but what a fantastic opening lap by Suzuki. In the meantime, Femi on the soft tyre going full attack on Gord Source. Gord Source will not be too happy about that one. Falls down to 8th place. Not a lot you can do though, fighting against a soft tyre runner. Also Salatossa on the soft tyre as well. Going to try to say that name as much as possible throughout the race. And let's move back up to these leaders. DRS will open or be active from lap 3, I should say. It's hard to say. And Femi now going for it on Innes. He is doing everything he needs to do on the soft tyre. Slightly forces Innes wide, but did have the inside line. Did have the corner there. Gordsaw says thank you very much. Innes is now being slightly swallowed up, having to brake very late. Oh my word, and has to take evasive action to avoid taking out Gordsource from the race and losing his front wing, and does so well actually, Mr. Hex, to not hit Innes. Identified he was gonna run deep into the escape area. Innes 4 though somehow able to fight back. This is going to be ridiculous. Yeah, you just can't make moves like that through there. It's too tight, that chicane. Wasn't quite far enough ahead in my opinion. And Innes is in for a world of pain now as Bronco will size him up. Jesper pass. The two Ferraris going side by side. Share actually very opportunistic move into 11th place on his teammate Bronco. They're going to have to take it quite easy now. Try and get into a bit of a rhythm. But let's get on board with our second place runner in the shape of Scorenzi. He is shaping up Suzuki. Only 3 tenths behind. Suzuki needs to do more, or I think he may lose this position down the back straight. Sorry. I can tell I've been on a break. I can barely speak. In the meantime, Demur just overtaking Bronco. Hopefully Cher and Bronco didn't make contact, but a little part of me thinks maybe that might have happened. Scorenzi fully locking up there. Doesn't affect him too much other than a bit of tyre wear. Maybe a bit of extra heat. And a fantastic exit. Don't think it's going to be quite enough though. Suzuki doing just enough. Let's ride on board. Oh, do you know what? Magnus has done well though in the background. We're too busy focusing on second. Magnus, I think in what is it his first race now in PRL? I have no idea, but either way, up into third place and showing that he deserves a spot in the Performance Racing League. And Scorenzi not quite able to get past. Gord Source alongside Femi Thrustmaster, I believe it was, and makes the move. Nice move on hard tyres. Very impressive. You know, Gord Source is still in this race. But let's go on board with Morris in 5th. So much race pace. Always with Morris. And look at that. This is fantastic racing here. Magnus, Jesse Force and Morris all fighting it out for that final podium position. But let's not also forget Scorenzi, who you can tell is trying to extract every last millisecond through that chicane. Oh, a little bit of a wobble from Jesse Force. That could be all it needs sometimes to lose a place down on this track, on this back straight. But I think he's sorted it out and he'll be okay. Scorenzi cannot quite get the move done. Clearly Suzuki has set his car up for fantastic straight line speed, which is exactly what you need to do. It's the best form of defence, absolutely. And then just keep it clean through the first 2 sectors. Jesse Force as well maintaining position. Let's see what's going on a little bit further down the order. Mr. Hex staying behind his teammate, keeping it very tidy and clean. And Heightscran not quite able to get past Timgra. So a few little trains starting to form, but it could definitely change at any moment now. Let's go back to Scarenzi. He's really putting the pressure on Suzuki. Any little mistake by Suzuki, and I think the place will be Scarenzi's for the lead. Very prone to lockups though, Scarenzi. Kind of like me, just a lot quicker. Another lockup through there. He's got to watch his tyres though, that's all I would say. You don't want to keep locking up that much. Maybe shift the brake balance very slightly? Who am I to say? But Suzuki is just racing immaculately. I mean, all Scarenzi can do is just keep applying pressure. I think Femi's soft tyres starting to wear off just a little bit. And Scarenzi pushing too hard and receives a 3-second time penalty, which would put him down to 3rd place right now. So that's a massive reprieve for Suzuki in the fight to win a race here. And Jesse Force all over the curb, all over the back of Magnus, but just can't quite get past. It is the track that you can overtake on, especially as the tyres get a bit more worn. And looking down the order, so Justin and Bronco have pit, I believe, and they're down in 17th and 18th position. Let's follow on board from Morris as we look ahead to the fight for 3rd. Oh my word, I think Morris almost clipped his front left against the wall. Just reading the comments, Morris apparently scares some of the viewers with his pace. Well, he's just so consistent, and as you see there, the two cars in front both making a mistake. Morris does not make a mistake, and he will take the place from his teammate. And I think that's the right move, because now he can have a crack at Magnus. Look at the pace through there, pushing to the absolute limit, even with a car right in front, disrupting his airflow, disrupting his grip. Dives down the inside. Just about leaves enough room for Magnus, but makes sure that he's compromised enough that he can't fight back. Very clever. And Morris, with a fantastic double overtake in the space of 2 or 3 corners, cements 3rd position. That's quite a nice one for the highlight reels. Let's go back on board with Jesper. Don't know if he's going to necessarily make a move on his teammate, but I know those two do dance around, I think, in the DRS zones. But nice race pace from them both, and they're racing very cleanly. Now, will Scarenzi try and line up a move this time? He's got a 3-second time penalty. I think he has slightly burnt his rear tyres. But he's racing well, you can just tell, like there. Is this it? Is this the moment? This is the best we've seen so far all race. Or does he just have a little bit too much downforce? Because he's just not, with DRS, he's just not quite catching up as quickly as I thought he would there. That's a shame. Oh, Magnus getting back past Morris though in the background. We slightly missed that one. Cheryl Shaft versus Inns. Both with DRS though. What will happen here? Yeah, can't quite make the move, Cheryl Shaft. Oh no, that's a real shame. You can just see that one coming. Just under a turbulent air, just slightly oversteers. Sorry, slightly understeers across the curb, and that's a track limits 3-second penalty there. What a fantastic race so far between especially the top 5. Great little correction by Magnus. He's going to have to defend a little bit, but he should be okay. But something tells me Morris has the slightly better pace. Safety car, safety car. Cher out of the race. Where has Cher crashed? Where has Cher crashed? I can't see his car, but a safety car has come out. Now this should suit, well, definitely the soft tyre runners. I'm not sure if the medium tyre runners will pit. But here we go, it's our first big dilemma of the race, and what will Suzuki do? He'll pit. I think medium and soft runners will pit. I think hard tyre runners won't pit. That's what I'm going to say. Gourd Sauce chooses to pit. Everyone boxing. Jesper not boxing. I did think more hard tyre runners would not pit. Oh, Salatossa speeding through the pit lane. That is not good. Sorry, speeding under safety car even worse, unfortunately for him. He has a drive-through and he can't serve it until the safety car comes in. What a shame. But you know what? You've got to learn. Like, everyone makes these mistakes. I think I got a drive-through penalty in Vegas. Just, although it's a bit of a glitch in the game, I wouldn't really say it was my fault. But either way, it happens to the best of us. And maybe the game timer glitched out for him as well. I have no idea. So, the only drivers not to pit, Jesse Force. That one shocks me. It does shock me. And then Jesper makes a lot more sense because he's so good on his tyres. He's not been pushing too much. And, I mean, it's only lap 9. He's on hard tyres. These cars will regroup and I expect a safety car release at the end of lap 10. So one more lap under safety car. You can see that even the slowest driver in the shape of Justin is coming out of the pit, I believe, now. I believe. Well, actually, it depends how the game works. Sometimes the game's really odd. It wants all the cars to be together before it allows the release, in which case Justin may have just messed it up and added another entire lap under safety car, I won't lie to you. But if you ignore Justin from the equation, there's only going to be one more lap under safety car. So let's just ride on board with Jesse Force behind the safety car and take a little look at the winners and losers and the penalties as well. So Jesse up twice but has not pit. Suzuki Screnzi pretty much maintaining position really. Magnus Morris as well, kind of up 1. Jesper up 6 but again has not pit. Gourd Sauce doing very well in 7th place. Did start on the hard tyre, don't forget. I think Femi will be so happy with the timing of that safety car. And he's always pretty good on hard tyres. So he's in 8th place, had a fantastic stint on the softs and really made that work. Mr. Hex in 9th, but has he actually pit? He has. I think, based on what I'm seeing, I think Jesper has messed up. Because if his teammate was right behind him, his teammate's pit on fresh mediums, and he's only 3 car places down. So unfortunately for Jesper, it didn't quite work out. I expected more cars though on the hard tyre not to box, and I think he felt the same as me, but I think it's hurt him. I'm not sure how well this race will turn out now. He might need another safety car later on. Innes in 10th place, down 4. Heiscran rocking along in 11th, doing well. Tim Grun not quite at his usual best, but is in this race nonetheless, and it's only 10 laps out of 35. Demore 13th, Tar Heels in 14th, already making up places. Remember, I think he started 17th. Bronco 15th, having a bit of a race to forget, but the safety car has allowed him back in this race. And as we saw in qualifying, he has fantastic pace. So I expect him to easily get back up into the sort of top 10 positions. Salatossa has a drive-through and is in 16th, so really that's last. And we're waiting for Justin to catch up. And exactly as I called, Justin has caused the safety car to stay out for yet another lap, because he didn't quite close in enough and the game decided to be nice to him. I personally would have just released the safety car, but I don't get to control that. So let's see what else we can look at. Penalties. Yeah, so Scorenzi we noticed got a 3-second penalty earlier on. Gourd Sauce, I didn't notice that one actually, that's a shame. Mr. Hex as well. Demir in 13th with a 3-second. Salatossa of course with the drive-through, and then Justin actually is last and has a 3-second. So quite a few penalties early on, but this track is prone to track limits violations. It's tough. That final chicane, if you take it too slowly, you're never going to keep your position, you're never going to do well. But at the same time, to go fast, the margin for error is ridiculous. Let's go back up alongside the leaders. Let's go to Scorenzi, and let's go back to tyre view. And let's ride on board. I'm just going to quickly grab a drink as these cars sort of pooed along sector 2, and we should resume in about half a minute. Oh, 1 second though, I just read in the chat Suzuki saying he has damage. How do you have damage, Suzuki? I can't see any damage. I'm looking at his car right now. I don't know. Right, I'm feeling refreshed. Jesse Force just choosing his moment to restart the race, and he has chosen to do so quite early. Suzuki, of course, gripping right onto the back of him with those fresher tyres. Jesse's in for a world of pain. Forcing Jesse a little bit wide. Tries to get that nice line, making the most of this fresh grip. Slightly over eager, and loses the back end slightly, and Jesse maintains position. In the meantime, we've got a nice battle here between Femi, Mr. Hex, and Innes for 8th position. And Femi is in 8th place. Great driving from Femi so far this race. You can see just how close these cars are to the barriers. Justin, 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flags. What on earth has happened there to Jesse? And that's so odd. I don't even see a penalty on the screen though. Maybe it's a bug. Let's hope it's a bug. Anyway, gourd sauce all over the back of Jesper. I think he's going to get the move done here. The fresh mediums are so superior to old hards, as I called out before the restart. Jesper's in for a world of pain, and he's gone way too deep there. That is not ideal. It's allowed Femi through, though. And this is going to be chaos. I do not like the look of this one bit. Almost 3 cars side by side. You've got Gourd Sauce just thinking, what the heck do I even do here? I've got to now wait back and at the same time not get swallowed up by anyone behind. As you see, oh my word! And wow! Wow, Femi is ahead. Balls of steel, if I'm allowed to say that. From Femi. My word. And Gourd Sauce still can't get past. It must be fuming that he cannot get past Jesper right now. In the meantime, Magnus getting past Jesse for 3rd place. That was quite an obvious move in the end. I think Morris just getting past his teammate. I think Jesse's at this point conceded with his 12 up old mediums. He's got to pit, surely. I'm just not sure what's going to go on there now for him. Gourd Sauce trying. Okay, Gourd Sauce has he got past? Let's see. Yeah, he has. He's down the inside. Will Jesper overfight this one? I don't think so. He concedes the position. So Gourd Sauce up into 7th. Now I think Innes is the next to have a go. But don't count out the battle for 3rd. We've got Morris still in this against Magnus. Very similar pace between the two of them. Jesper and Innes going side by side though. Hard to keep track of everything. Innes just getting past. Jesper compromised. Mr. Hex now with a superior exit. And as you can see, Morris just sweeping past Magnus just before the entry point of that final chicane. So Morris now into P3, DRS now enabled, and Scorenzi cannot quite get past Suzuki. It's a bit of a repeat of the first stint, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. So Gourd Sauce now finally getting past the slower cars on old tyres, but he's now got Femi Frostmaster for company, albeit on the hard tyre up the front. Innes looking to have very good pace right now. Let's see how Scorenzi takes this final hairpin. Will he lock up again? No? Okay, a little one. Just, it's almost hardwired in him at this point. It's very interesting to see. Clearly not using ABS. Oh! High Scran is out. Will there be a VSC? Let's see where he's dropped it on the exit of the Sector 2 chicane. I think I've done that before, a long time ago. His car's been cleaned up now. I think what happens is you hit this off-camber curb on the inside of the chicane and it can flick your car off and you hit the barrier. Only a VSC though. Well done, Codemasters and EA, for not deploying a safety car. Thank you. Jesper pitting, of course, makes sense. Jesper didn't pit. Jesse did not pit under VSC. I'm absolutely baffled by this. Well, they're back underway. Green flag. Jesse Force with warm mediums, 3-second penalty for cutting corners. And what a fight we have between these top three. And Morris just easing his way into this race. No stress on his side. Not rushing anything. Just calmly and collectively making his way up through the grid. Again, massive lock-up by Scorenzi. And an incident, perhaps with Gourd Sauce. Forced wide, maybe. That is a common issue. The track is very thin around there. Oh, bit compromised there. Gourd Sauce on the exit. He's allowed Dummer to stick his nose in. And don't forget, DRS is now enabled. I think he'll be okay for now, Gourd Sauce. And yeah, Scorenzi cannot quite get the move done, but he's putting a lot of pressure on. And Mr. Hex, wow, nice late move. Oof, good avoiding action from Femi there. Good battle there for 6th place between Mr. Hex and Femi, and Innes has just joined the party. I expect Innes to get the move done, being on the quicker tyre. Gourd Sauce has had to pit, must have picked up damage. What a shame. What a shame. That puts him at the back with the compromised runners. Jesse Force is adamant he can stay out, does not care what's going on. He is going to make this strategy work for him. Perhaps he's hoping for another safety car. We shall see. Nice camera angle there from the helicopter through the chicane. Whoa, Justin there, dancing his way through, but a little bit compromised on the exit. Bronco probably can fight back here, perhaps choosing not to. Mr. Hex, he's going to go on the move against Jesse Force on those worn tyres. Not really surprising. Massive speed carried through this Sector 3 chicane. Absolutely insane. Magnus with a time penalty for track limits. So Jesse holding on to 6th place. And Scorenzi, as always, catches up in the first sector. Can't quite get the move done, and then just seems to not have the straight line speed in Sector 3. He is almost pushing Suzuki though. Can he do it here with battery? I think I'd expect Suzuki to be deploying battery as well, but we'll see. You just can't quite do it. Suzuki's really set this car up perfectly for leading a race around this track. Oof. I thought Morris braked a bit late then, but just actually perfect from Morris. Yeah, Morris is doing the right thing, just biding his time, waiting for the right moment. It's going to be a little bit of will-to-will action, I think, here between Innes and Femi. Femi concedes, makes sense. You can't really fight a medium runner. I suppose you could now, around 8 laps old, but either way, Innes now ahead into 7th place. Will Femi try and come back? No, it's actually the way around. Innes will quite happily take the place. Oh, dearie me from Innes, carried a lot of speed there, and Jesse using all of his experience, all of his wisdom, identified what would happen and made the most of it. Femi, what a move from Femi! Oh my word, where the heck did that come from? What on earth was that? I did not even see that coming. And he just absolutely blitzed through both of them. He said, right, you two are just messing about. I have hard tyres. I'm going to take 6th. I really want to watch that back. I would love to see a bit of footage of that later on. That was so good. So good. It was safe driving as well. Just caught everyone out. And there's nothing you can do to react to that. Anyway, back to these top 3. Something is going to give here. You cannot hold on like this forever. Suzuki needs to just try and find a little bit of pace. He is struggling. He's just being slowly worn out lap by lap. Scorenzi sees the flashing LEDs. That is when you know the game is almost up at this level of racing. Oh, okay, it was lag. I thought Scorenzi was about to bin his car. Now all of a sudden Morris has a chance. If I was Morris, I really would just be holding off here. Just hold off. Let Scorenzi take Suzuki with the weak battery life that he has. And then pick off Suzuki and Scorenzi later. And look at this. This fighting is non-stop. Innes getting back past, albeit using a lot of battery. And Femi will be fine with this. He's on the hard tyre. And he's keeping all of these guys very honest in 7th. One of the best races I've seen from Femi in a long time. And Timcra now up to 9th, making up good positions, being very calm and persistent. I hope everyone's enjoying the race so far. There's been some really good overtakes and quite a lot of strategizing as well. It's a bit of a game of chess with these top 3, but this is the sort of racing I love to see, like really fast drivers, safety cars not wrecking races too much, and you know, made the best driver win. Sector 2 yellow flag. Someone's binned it. Justin's binned it. Safety car. As I say it, I've completely cursed the race. The whole race will now change. So 16 laps to go. What do the drivers do here? Do they all pit onto hard tyres? Do they all pit onto hards, or do they all pit onto mediums? I think that they should all pit. Yeah, I think pitting onto medium's the way to go. I think you put a set of fresh mediums on. Yeah, Magnus does that. Mr. Hex does that. Don't worry about the top 4. The top 4 can still pit, I believe. Or have they now caught the safety car? Wait, one sec. Oh no! Oh dearie me! This is awful. This is absolutely awful. Oh my word. So Suzuki, Scorenzi, Morris and Femi are on the old hard tyre. They will catch the safety car. And when they box, they're going to end up all the way back at the pack, I believe. I could be wrong here. It depends how the game's programmed, because it's meant to like pace them through this lap and not allow them to catch up too quickly. But I think as soon as the safety car hits the start-finish line, it allows the cars to almost go full speed and catch up. It'll be interesting to see here, but watch out for the top 4. They could be compromised. Poor Justin, I've just read your comment. Yeah, sorry to hear that. It is a tough track. It's easy to lose the car around here. Let's see what your crash has caused, though, for this race. So we want to ride on board with Femi kind of versus Magnus, but you can already see, Magnus has caught Femi. It's just, oh, it's such a shame. So Magnus now will take 2nd place, but pretty much the lead of the race. Mr. Hex as well. Morris has been gifted a way back in, to be honest, as well. Even with all of this, you know, 8th place considering everything is not bad at all. But it's just one of those situations, really. Suzuki, Scorenzi, Femi all staying out. I think at this stage you have to just stay out. But how on earth they're going to be able to defend against Magnus, Hex and Innis on fresh mediums, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting race. And Jesse actually going on the hard tyre. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I think medium may have been the way to go. And no one's been lapped, so Salatossa is at the back of the pack, and he will be able to catch up. So you can see him catching up now, so I expect one more lap of safety car. I expect it in at the end of lap 22. Ooh, Salatossa just trying to warm up those tyres, get back in the swing of things, but he's cut a corner and infamously receives a penalty under safety car, which is quite embarrassing. We've all done it, I'm sure. Right, so on board, so Suzuki, Scorenzi, Femi. I would say that Femi was having Suzuki, Scorenzi and Femi were all having phenomenal races. And it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. I am quite worried for them. Right, I'm going to just quickly grab a drink and I'll be back in a minute. And Suzuki restarts the race. A great launch from him on those worn hard tyres. Fantastic, and cements that first place. Magnus, though, already getting past Femi. Femi highly compromised on those weak hard tyres. Now down to 5th place. Oh, we're driving for Mr. Hex. What is going on? What on earth is happening? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. No comment there. Just very odd driving. Another safety car. I don't know what's going on through that chicane there, though. Just very bizarre. I mean, there can definitely be more room on the outside there. I don't know what you are meant to do on the inside. I don't know. May I recommend large liquid container which can store vast replenishment and stop you having to get up to grab a drink. Can I recommend you don't leave nasty comments in my stream? Right, so back up to the leaders. So we've got Suzuki in first still, doing quite well, choosing not to pit, which is fantastic news. On those 14-lap old hard tyres, I can see why he's doing that. I think he's going to wait until the soft tyre comes into play. Still a little bit surprising though. And let's see what's going on with the others. So we've got Scorenzi, yes, so Scorenzi has decided soft is now the right time. As has Morris. As has Gourd Sauce. Okay, interesting. So maybe Suzuki, did he make a mistake? It'd be interesting to see. But he might have missed a trick, because of course he's now, as the leader, he's going to be held behind the safety car. So he's kind of missed a trick there. Could this be a race to forget for Suzuki? It's hard to say. Very hard to say. And obviously commiserations to Femi Thrustmaster there, losing his front wing, but he's back in it with a fresh one. In last place on fresh mediums till the end. This is a very interesting race now. So we've got medium runners that have kind of just found their way getting higher and higher up the order. Don't need to pit, they can run to the end. This safety car is going to help them a lot. The runners that were leading, I think correctly other than Suzuki, chose to pit onto softs, but look at them now, 9th place, 11th place. It's just, you know, it's motorsport at the end of the day, especially in the modern era with safety cars. It's just so hard to predict, so hard to react. Always a luck element. And we are actually racing on reduced safety car, so quite an eye-opening experience. Perhaps the people that said reduced safety car is the same as full. Maybe they're right. Oh, sorry, standard. Maybe they're right. I don't know what the difference is between the two. Oh! Bit of a chain reaction of cars running wide through that hairpin there. No one colliding though. So I imagine the safety car will come in this lap, and that will give us 10 green flag racing laps. Softs won't do 9/10 laps. Interesting. So by that logic then, Will, I think you'd be saying Suzuki's done the right thing. And that is an interesting point of view there. You could well be right. What I'm thinking is because 1 or 2 of the laps with these soft tyres is under safety car, in theory they shouldn't be wearing the tyres too much. I do see what you're saying though. I mean, it is a big stretch. I mean, the medium tyre can barely do 16 laps. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think Scorenzi, Morris, Gord, they were all put in a very tough position. I think I would have put on the softs though. Yeah, I agree with Ramsey. I think it is the right idea. Here we go then. So Suzuki is going to launch again, restart, and a fantastic launch. He just seems to catch everyone off. He doesn't even seem to do anything too interesting. He just launches at a very sensible time, gives the right gaps, and it's just working so well for him. So I assume he's going to do, what, 2 or 3 laps and then pit onto the soft. Oh, you just got a feel for him, man. He's really raced so well. Magnus all over the back. It's just inevitable. Oh, we do have someone. There's a yellow flag. No, we're okay. Great camera angle through here as Mr. Hex rides on top of that curb through the chicane, and he's right on the back of Innes, fighting for the podium now. And look at Tar Heels, just completely missed Tar Heels up into 5th place. Amazing. Scarenzi already fighting through the pack, just as he needs to do. But you can see Tar Heels, the massive winner, up 12. Mr. Hex up 5. And there is a yellow flag, and Femi has maybe run wide or been pushed wide. Either way, he's at the back, but I think he's got an okay car. I think his car's okay. Magnus all over the back of Suzuki. This is for the race win on lap 26 of 35. Suzuki doing everything he can to defend. Oh my word, a bit treacherous there. I hope that was lag. His car looks okay. Magnus's car looks okay there. Innes, though, has Mr. Hex for company. Oh my word, and Innes running all over the inside. I am not sure what happened there. Don't know if that was needed, but either way, Mr. Hex being very, very fast right now. Good defending from Innes in the end, though, albeit with a very weird turn 1. So many penalties coming out. We're going to have to keep an eye. Oh no, it is a chain reaction. Mr. Hex quite silly there, a bit sloppy into the back of Innes and then into the back of Suzuki. I doubt his front wing will be okay from that. Maybe it is. He seems okay. Might have just got away, and another safety car, because in the midst of all of that, we have Salad Tosser off, and we have a Red Bull of Femi in the barrier and out of the race. What a shame, because Femi was doing so well. But yet another safety car, hopefully the last safety car of the race. And it bunches everything up again. And I assume that Suzuki's going to have to pit and just accept that he's in 14th, or maybe 13th if he's lucky. Yeah, interesting race. It'd be nice to get a rhythm, because the first phase of this was fantastic. Yeah, Suzuki just has to concede defeat. Okay, and Magnus in the pits as well. Perhaps just deciding that going on fresh softs is going to be quicker. I think Innes and Tar Heels have the right idea, you know. I think staying out on medium tyres might be the right thing. Either way, what is quite funny is it's allowed Scarenzi, Morris and Gord to actually catch back up to remotely where they were before all of the safety car chaos started. And yeah, the time pens are really going to hurt Ramsey. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the penalties on that subject. So Innes in first place, but has a 3-second penalty. Tar Heels just plodding along. Like, you look at his lap time. It doesn't matter though, does it? It's just incredible. Like, even with that, he's just in second place, no penalties. You just can't see how he's not going to have a fantastic finish here. And it just shows that staying in a race and keeping it clean and being consistent does yield results. But yeah, Scarenzi with a 6-second, that's just going to hurt. Gord's like, you could see a situation where they don't even get top 10. Demir with a 3-second, Magnus with a 3-second, he's down in 9th. Suzuki at least has no penalties, and he has a nice clean racing car. Mr. Hex with a 6-second, Jesse with a 3, and Salad at the back with a 6. So I suppose the good news is a lot of drivers actually have 6-second penalties, or at least 3. But for, yeah, Tar Heels, Morris, Bronco, you could see podiums for them. You can see perhaps, yeah, 2nd, 4th and 6th being the podium contenders. Can Innes maybe get a fantastic launch and build a gap up? We'll see. But I assume the safety car will come in at the end of what will just about be the next lap, so lap 29. Yeah, 5-lapper. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because sometimes people's mentalities get a little bit aggressive because they think, well, there's only 5 laps to go. And yeah, we can kind of do whatever we want. It's kind of 6 racing laps, but either way, it could be chaos. I don't think the game is going to throw any more safety cars. I think we've hit the cap. I could be wrong. But yeah, certainly the interesting thing I've learned is that if this race truly is on reduced safety car, I don't understand what it's doing, because it certainly hasn't reduced it. I'm not saying, by the way, that any of these incidents shouldn't have been safety cars. I want to make that clear. I think, you know, a car crashes into a wall at high speed, yeah, you can have a safety car. But I'm not sure what reduced is doing. Maybe it's just the threshold, I have no idea. Safety car in this lap. Right, let's just check the tyres one more time. So Innes and Tahill's on 9 lap old medium tyres, and they've got to do another 6 laps. It's going to be hard, but they can definitely do it. Like, the tyres will be fine, because so many of those laps were under safety car conditions. 5 lap old softs, I mean, they're already going to start to be wearing, aren't they? I cannot call this. I genuinely can't call this at all. I can't call whose tyres are going to be in the right spot. I assume right now the softs will be winning, but then come the end of the race, I assume the mediums might be about the same. I don't know. Anyway, Innes with a very strange relaunch. Oh, dearie me. What is going on? What is happening from Innes? What is going on? I don't know. Alright, so Tahill's... Well, Tahill's is ruined because he's lost his front wing because... Well, I'm just going to say it bluntly. That was an unsafe safety car restart. Like, what the heck was that? Anyway, Scarenzi now in the lead by some miracle. Morris in 2nd place. Innes in 3rd, but maybe has damage. I have no idea. Gordsource then in the soft. So the whole race pivoting back around to kind of where it was at the start. We've got Mr. Hex fighting with his teammate, I believe, into a wall. We've got Magnus out of the race. He was racing so well. You just saw that sideways contact in the background. He spun out. In the meantime, we've got Gordsource spun around on the exit. I think he was slightly squeezed. His teammate now passing him just to rub it in. And as I say, no more safety cars, guys. You've used up all your driving, to be honest, at this point. Let's just bring it all home. Morris in 2nd place, half a second down on Scarenzi. And this could be then the race for the win. This could be the true sort of 5-lapper race. I think it's going to be quite an interesting one. Poor Tar Heels, though. Just so much unfortunate, or so many unfortunate events throughout this race. Not sure what was going on. It did seem to me like Innes sped up through the chicane to signal he was restarting and then slowed down massively. And well, you are asking for big problems when you do that. So yeah, Tar Heels boxes. Gordsource not happy at all with the driving standards. He's retired. A frustrated Gordsource. You can understand why, having such a good race as well. Tar Heels now down into 12, comes out right at the back. I don't think he's going to have time to catch up. That's a shame. Let's ride on board with Mr. Hex. Approaching the back of Bronco. I think DRS will be enabled. Or is it next lap? Jesse Force. Is he going to dive down the inside of Timgra? He is. And they make contact. Just a little bit of wheel banging though. I think it's okay. Aggressive but a good move from Jesse. Just squeezing through there into 5th place. Timgra can't quite fight back. Good move in the end. And Jesse going for the double. The double in the space of 2 corners. Oh my word, a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. And it's caused all sorts of chaos. And Innes, I think Innes has been forced into the pits. I think Innes tagged the back wheel and was forced into the pits. In the meantime, Timgra is fighting with Jesse. I've been there before where I've been forced into the pits. It's not an ideal situation at all. Perhaps NFA. Timgra in 5th then, fighting with Jesse. Sorry, fighting with Bronco behind. And Jesse just in front. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of scrappiness going on here between Hex and Bronco for 6th place. Bronco with some good defensive driving. He's doing so well on those 12-lap old mediums. He's going to really struggle against the guys on 4-lap old softs though. It's just so tough. And those 8-lap runners at the front have done just what they needed to do. They built up enough of a gap that I think Suzuki can't quite fight back. But I do want to say now, I mean, if the race ends as it does, I do still think Suzuki is my driver of the day. Just raced so well. To recover back to third place with everything that's happened is so good from him. And fair play for his like positive attitude and hanging on in there and getting a good result. Let's take a look at the pens. Yeah, 6 seconds for Scarenzi, you are right. So, I mean, it's a fight for the lead. You've got the pens in there. I'm trying not to even look at the pens too much and focus on the racing, but I suppose with 2 laps to go, if we're looking at this bluntly, where the heck does this give us? Let's have a look. 2 seconds, 4 seconds, and then 5. So right now, does that not give Suzuki the win? Am I right there, Ramsey? Suzuki is our race leader? Because you've got, what, 4 seconds between Scarenzi and Suzuki, but we're 6 second. And then Suzuki's got a 3 second penalty. So that means he's net 1 second ahead, isn't he? If my awful maths is correct, I could be wrong. No, I think I'm wrong, right? He needs to be within 3 seconds. So it's the other way around. So Scarenzi is still leading the race, right? Yeah. This is crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. We're just going to have to watch the deltas. Because you can see that Suzuki's closing in on Morris. If he can get it within that 3 second window... Oh no, so I've got it the wrong way around. So yeah, Suzuki's absolutely got this, hasn't he? I'm really tired, I'll be honest. I'm feeling a little bit rough. My throat's a bit sore as well. Hope I'm not getting ill, but... Yeah, Suzuki, I think, is absolutely on course to win this. It's insane. In the meantime, Bronco holding on with those worn tyres in 7th place. There has been some fantastic racing throughout, you've got to say. Very entertaining. But yeah, back up to these leaders. Scarenzi with a 6 second. That does put him down into 2nd place. Suzuki then for the win. And what a fantastic race by Suzuki. And you can see he's closing in on Morris. He's proving that he really is the fastest driver out there. I don't think anyone can say he doesn't deserve it. He's just got to hold on for one more lap and not make any mistakes. And Morris with a warm battery. I think it's going to be signed, sealed and delivered by Suzuki before he even enters the braking zone for that final chicane. Misses the Wall of Champions and is now only 3 seconds behind with a 3 second deficit. So yeah, Suzuki right now is winning the race by, what, a 1/10 of a second. This is really cool. Really cool. We've just got to watch the delta throughout this entire last lap. It's going to be so hard to call. Scarenzi will be pushing like absolute crazy. And yeah, you're absolutely right there, Mother Ellie. The 3 second number is the key one. Scarenzi doing everything he needs to do. And I feel like Morris might spoil this party for Suzuki as well. So many variables going on here as we enter the very last race of your Canadian Grand Prix. It's round 8 in the Performance Racing League for Tier 1, the top tier of drivers. Suzuki just struggling through the final section. His battery is absolutely shot. However, Scarenzi's battery has died. Scarenzi's battery has died. That makes a big difference potentially, but so has Suzuki's. Oh my word, it's all going to come down to the final chicane. Suzuki, you've got to do this. You've got to go for it. Full speed. Oh my word, Scarenzi crosses the line. It's not enough. Suzuki's going to do it. Suzuki wins the race by about 1/10 of a second over Scarenzi. Morris in 3rd place. And Jesse Force will cross the line provisionally in 4th. Yeah. And then Jesse in 5th. Tim overtakes him because of the penalties. Jesper in 6th. Bronco 7th. Hex 8th. Salatosa, wow, 9th place for him. What a fantastic result. And Demur is going to be crossing the line now for 10th place. And Tar Heels in 11th. But will he cross with penalties or will he end up 11th? I think he stays 11th. What a shame for Tar Heels. He raced well there. But a very chaotic race. Quite hard to keep track of. And it came down to the finest of margins through that very last chicane. And Suzuki just had that bit more commitment and a bit more speed and just did the job. And what a well-deserved win for Suzuki. The best race I've seen from him ever, I would say. Not that I've seen lots of his races, but hats off, what a race. Definitely driver of the day. And yeah, commiserations to Scorenzi. Definitely kept us on the edge of our seats there. But ultimately, I think the lockups and the corner cutting penalties just did it for him in the end. Good points, though. Good points for second. Yeah, and it's good to see that Morris does not just win every race he enters in PRL. He did set the fastest time, though. So anyway, what a race. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, we are here every week, especially now the Christmas break is over. And there will be the Tier 2 race, I think, that starts in half an hour, I think, 37 minutes. But anyway, let's just quickly run through the finishing order, and then I'll go through the race director, and we will leave it there. So Suzuki takes the win with an absolutely epic stint of races, or set of stints, I should say, and just nabs it by 1.5 tenths over Scorenzi in second. Morris in third with good driving throughout and good pace, also takes the fastest lap. Tim Grin fourth, Jesse fifth, Jesper sixth, Bronco seventh, Hex eighth, Salatossa ninth, hats off, Demur 10th, Tar Heels commiserations in 11th, but raced very well. Innes 12th, a lot of DNFs, of course, a lot of scrappy racing. Gord, Magnus, Femi, Justin, Hikeskran 17th, and Cher in last. Again, your final, I think, 6 runners, 12th through 18th. That's final 7 runners, actually, all DNFing, unfortunately. So quite a messy race, but some good overtakes and entertainment throughout. And I'll just quickly take a look at the incident list for the stewards, and then we will call it, if I can do it in time. I think I'm going to just miss out. No, just got there. Fantastic. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the race. Thanks a lot for commenting and, yeah, providing your guidance, especially with those time... what's it called? Those penalties. I couldn't count today. Apparently I can't count to 6, which is a bit embarrassing. But anyway, take care, and I will see you soon. And yeah, your commentator was Lucas Aid. Thanks a lot.